And hello again, dear ones. Reverend Robert with you here on a Wednesday afternoon. Now, some of you may be wondering why this is not being broadcast at 6 o'clock in the evening on the Mountain Time Zone as we normally do. And that is because, well, we embrace change around here. And if you didn't see last week's episode, last week's broadcast, I make note of why we're here at this time today instead of not at 6 o'clock. So ultimately, the decision has been made that we don't want to be part of we don't want to be part of a shouting match at that time of the evening on Wednesday nights. And there's just a lot going on and a lot of talented people. And not that we don't, not that this isn't, wouldn't be a vital voice. I think it is a vital voice, but we've moved to 3 o'clock to provide, I hope, for a better flow of the day I hope for you, and provide an opportunity to listen to a message that when there aren't a lot of voices all gathering for attention. So moving forward, 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. Mountain Time here on the New Thought Media Network, our midweek pick-me-up right in the middle of your workday for most people. Perhaps you're on the East Coast and it's right at the very end of your workday and it's just about happy hour and just about time for a pick-me-up. And that's what we're all about. 2 prayers, 2 songs, and a talk in between, which means I'm about 2 minutes overdue to get started with our first prayer. So if you're with me and you're in a comfortable place, not operating machinery or driving a vehicle or any of that kind of stuff, let's turn within and take a moment to recognize that there is truly only one thing happening here this evening. One power, one presence, one infinite intelligence that I call God. One source, one supply, one self-existent cause that is forever taking on form and abandoning that form in order to take on new form. The oneness that is everything, that is the no thing, that is all life, that is every life, that is my life, that is your life, operating perfectly in, as, and through so many amazing expressions. Amazing opportunities. And so I know we are each presented with that amazing opportunity right now, in this moment, right here, to be here now, to be in this moment, present to whatever shows up, present to whatever reveals itself, present to whatever wants to be known, and a deep sense of allowing, the divine to reveal itself as our lives, moment by moment by moment by moment. So I am thrilled in this moment, thrilled to be a part of what's happening here, thrilled to be an opportunity to express what's happening here, most especially thrilled to be in spiritual community with each and every one that sees this broadcast. I release this word into the law, knowing it is done, and all is well, and everything's happening just as it must. And so it is. And so it is. Okay. So let's see here tonight. What do we got this afternoon? Oh, yeah. This is Be Here Now. And I think it's the perfect message for what we're going to do tonight. Patricia Bahia here on the New Thought Media Network.
It's like you're in another place. I can see your mind moving faster than a full-speed freight train. You got so many plates you're spinning, you're afraid to even let one fall. You don't want to miss a thing, but you're missing what means most of all. One of a kind, and it's never coming back around. So be temporary, you will smell the roses soon. I understand the feeling, there's so much you think you have to do. But remember that your worth isn't measured by the work you've done. The only thing that matters in the end is how much you've loved. So be here now. Be here now. This moment in time is one of a kind, and it's never coming back around. So be here now. Just breathe. Just breathe. Be with me. Just breathe. Just this moment in time is one of a kind, and it's never coming back around.
Wow. Just be here now. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. Patricia's a great friend in the network, and I'm going to share with you a little later. She's going to be appearing over the weekend on one of our programs. But right in this moment, right, be here now. That is the call that I keep hearing. And I named this thing tonight, Embracing the Flow, because we're going to get to the flow, right? We've got to realize that we're here now, to be here in this moment right now, whatever it is that's happening, whatever it is that's showing up. And more than anything, what I have learned in my experience of this philosophy, of this thing called life, is that I'm constantly being provided opportunities to look at life differently, to change my perspective of how things happen, how they operate, what goes where, why works with who, all yada, 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 yada. And this show is a demonstration of that. Moving this show to 3 p.m. on the Mountain Time Zone is a demonstration of being open to the flow, being open to the change that is constant, that is evolutionary and revolutionary and revelationary. In my prayer, and this is a quote I found about it, I found it a long time ago. It ran into my life, but about a year or so ago, I started to really dig into this idea that the oneness of God is one self-existent cause. I was always pretty cool with that line. But then somewhere, I think in either in Holmes or this is a paraphrase, but it's one self-existent cause that is forever taking on form and then abandoning that form in order to take on new form. Think about that. One self-existent cause that is forever taking on form and abandoning that form in order to take on new form. So as expressions of that oneness, as divine conduits of that oneness, that means that we are each being constantly called to let go of the old forms and build new forms, to transform, to evolve, to change, to live in the midst of absolute change. And we've talked about that before, embracing the change. So more than anything, I think we're called to make sure that we don't let ourselves get stuck. That we allow ourselves the space in the room to say, hey, I love what I'm doing, and is there a way it might be different? Hey, what we're doing seems to be working, but is there a way that maybe it would work differently for others, for more, for a larger community? We don't know. What I do know is that I get the experience to listen to the inner guidance, to listen to the inner flow, if you will, that guides and directs the oneness that we call God. Now, a lot of people say, this is, we've got to embrace the flow or go with the flow. Excuse me. Right, we're taught to go with the flow. But that kind of puts the flow outside of us. That means that there's something directing the flow then we're just a part of all of it. And we are a part of all of that, but I want to embrace it, not just go with it, but to embrace the sense, to bring a sense that, wow, not only is it cool to go with the flow, but when I embrace it, then we're having a dance. Then I get to direct it as well a bit. And remember, Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, taught in the earliest of days that we have the ability to control the conditions of our lives through the power of the one mind. Not just my mind, but the one mind. Through the power of the all-pervading, of the oneness, we have the ability to change the conditions of our lives. Well, that doesn't come with just going with the flow. It comes with embracing the flow and learning how to become the flow, to become one as the flow. That's where life, in my opinion, gets really, really fun. Because when I start to embrace the flow, it's not just like, oh, yeah, this is what today brings. Okay, good. Gotcha. Right. No, I still have meetings. I still have things scheduled. We still have a lot of time, a lot of things that are all, and as Patricia says, sometimes moving faster than a full-speed freight train with a whole bunch of plates spinning in the air at the same time. But when I am embracing the flow, I'm not worried if a plate falls and breaks. I'm not worried about how fast the train's really going, because I live in that place of assurance. I live in that place of trust that says, God's got this. This is all, it's all working out. Everything's happening exactly as it must. I have to do my best to stay out of judgment of what is, because sometimes what happens and what is, well, not in alignment with what my humanness wanted. But it is what's happening. It's the place where God is showing up and saying, okay, here's your opportunity for the day. Here's your growth curve for the day. Here's the experience. What do you want to make with it? What do you want to make with it? See, I know fully we are each here with a deep, deep calling to be part of something bigger. The revelation of a world that works for everyone, for this mighty mission of awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence, to just show up and be your authentic self. And I tell you, the longer I've been in this movement, the more conversations I have with ministers and luminaries and practitioners and people with divine expressions of God in all its billions and billions and billions of forms, the more conversations I have, the more it all comes back to how authentic can you be? How truly authentic can you be to what you know inside you is absolute truth? Not what you've been told to believe, not what you think you should say, but what you know to be your authentic, absolute truth. Now, for some, that's a mighty journey to determine what that is. And what I know for sure is that any one of us, anyone that says yes to stepping on that journey, to saying, I want to know what my authentic self is truly here to do. I want to know, how am I here to serve? I want to know what the contribution is that I am here to make, so that I may feel and recognize myself as a beneficial presence on the planet. Anyone that sets upon that journey, I know the answers will come to you. You will awaken to that truth. You can't, once you set that intention in motion, honestly, there's really no going back. I've said this before. Once you learn this philosophy, once you understand these universal principles, you can pretend that you don't understand them and that you're just, life's just happening to you. But once you understand this, you really can't stick your head in the sand. You will always remind yourself, you will always find a way to remind yourself that you are here to serve. You know, it's interesting. I have an experience I wanted to share tonight in this regard. I have a project, a program, a piece of my ministry that I have been doing for going on 8, maybe 9 years now. It's a daily email. And it's called Daily Spirit Callings. And it's an affirmation and it's an inspiration and it's a call to action for your life today. And I've been doing it for so long now that there are so many times along the journey where I have thought to myself, you know, this isn't working. It needs to change. And if you look at the history of this program, it has changed dramatically several times and many times. Not just the daily content, but the overall look and feel of it. And recently I had gotten that feeling that I need to let go of a certain piece of this. It was the podcast aspect of it. And I got to think it's just not doing what I wanted to do. It's a big expenditure of time, and I rationalized everything. I thought everything through, and I let go of the podcast. I was not recording the daily podcast. Still writing the Daily Spirit Calling, still emailing them out to that audience, still posting them on Facebook as image memes. And you can do a search for Daily Spirit Callings and they're all out there. And it only took a couple of days before Spirit said, hey, you know, there's people in other avenues that you weren't measuring that are counting on that. And those people started to send emails and say, hey, why am I not finding you in this outlet and on that outlet and on this platform? And what happened to the podcast? And I started to get emails. So I real quickly jumped to the studio and recorded everything and backdated it, uploaded everything. And they're all there now. And we're back to where we were. And everything's exactly where it was. But I needed to take that step to say, I'm ready to listen. And then be course corrected, and then allow for the correction when it's necessary. In the song we listened to, Be Here Now, Patricia reminds us that your worth isn't measured by the work you've done. Your worth isn't measured by the work you've done. The only thing that matters in the end is how much you have loved. It's not a matter of what I put, whether I do or I don't, what I put out or what I don't put out. It's a matter of how much love we put into it. And when people are being served, when people are saying, hey, that makes a difference to me, then that is a clear indication that what you're doing is serving the evolution of human consciousness, is serving the evolution of humanity's journey on this planet. And that, I believe, is embracing the flow. That, I believe, is what we're here to do. Before we run out of too much more time here this evening, I want to share one more piece of music with you. And this is, you know, this to me is the ultimate question. No matter what's happening in my life, no matter what's coming into my world today, will I let it be all right?
Of the God light. We're talking star power. We're talking yourself. You have star power. With that motivation underlying every action that you take, you are to boldly go where no woman or no man has ever gone before. Let it be alright to be alright. Let it be alright to be alright. Let it be alright to be alright. Let it be alright. Let it be alright. Come on. Let it be alright. Let it be alright to be alright. Let it be alright. Let it be alright to be alright. Come on. Let it be alright. Let it be alright to be alright. Let it be alright. Every day. Let it be alright. Come on. Let it be alright. Come on. To be alright. Let it be alright. Let it be alright. To be alright. Let it be
Be all right.
to be alright. Let it be alright.
So let it be all right. Let it be all right to be in this moment, to be a part of this experience, to be present to the oneness, to the allness, to the everything that is God's life. That I know this day. There is only one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence that is moving and breathing and having its being as all of life, every expression, every moment. Perfect, whole, and complete, just as it is. And I know it is operating as your life, as my life, as the lives of our families and friends, our colleagues and co-workers, those on the street, those living without housing, those that we do not know, that we may have already judged, those that don't look like us, those that don't sound or feel like us, and still we are all one. No matter the belief, no matter the icon, no matter the culture or the upbringing, we deeply are one family, one vibration of life, one aspect of, and each one brings to this thing called life a unique way of being, a unique way of showing up, an authentic expression of love and light and beauty and truth and health and wealth and well-being and abundance and prosperity. For that is the nature of God expressing through everyone. We are each all that and so much more. So much more. And so I vow this day, I have pledged this day to let it be all right. To let every aspect of my life be okay. To show up authentically. To be the truth that is within me, to be the expression of that in all that I think, all that I say, all that I do, all the interactions, all the connections, all the opportunities. And together we create a world that works for everyone. Not just those that look like me, not just those that believe like me. We are creating a world that works for everyone. That is the mighty work that is being done here, moment by moment, is in a way of connecting, in a way of honoring each and every divine journey to know God. For if there are 7 billion people on this planet, there are 7 billion more ways to know God. And I honor that for you, for everyone. That each is fulfilling their divine mission on this planet, that each is fulfilling their soul's purpose as they show up authentically with love and light and truth as God, as the very incarnation of God's life, as the very co-creative nature of God's life. That is who we are. That is what we are about. And that is good. And very good. And so I am thrilled to overflowing with an absolute sense of prosperity and abundance, thrilled to overflowing with an absolute sense of health and wealth and well-being, absolutely thrilled to be overflowing with a sense of knowing God, moving and breathing as my life, as the lives of each and every one. And so I am grateful to be a part of this, grateful to feel this indwelling presence and to feel the tight, the intimate relationship with this indwelling presence, grateful to release this word into that law that is already said yes, that is already operating upon this, and let it be. And let go. And let God be God. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, dear ones. Thank you so much for being with us here today. This is the New Thought Media Network. This has been your midweek pick me up for Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. We will be back with this program again next week, same time, 3 p.m. Mountain Time here now at 3 p.m. And hey, I want you to know we've got so many cool things going on. They just keep coming and they just keep coming. And we're revamping some things in how we do them. This program and the changes it's going through are some of that. So I want to thank you for being with us again. And please share this with a friend. Let them know what we're doing. 3 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. We're gonna and we got a new show that starts at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays too, called Your Inner Dazzle, Igniting Your Inner Dazzle. I have a brand new studio we're working in, and I don't have any of my brands and any of my overlays and any of my promo pictures. So we'll tell you more about that next time. For now, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for being with us. Do remember evening prayers tonight at 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time to wrap up your evening. On a Wednesday night, we do evening prayers every day, 7 days a week, coming up close to 365 days in a row now here on the New Thought Media Network. I love you, dear ones. Thanks for being with us. Until next time, let's learn. Oh, I do have a way for you to learn a little bit more about what we do here. Check this out.